And welcome back to the final episode of SLHRPG. First off, I'm going to put a little summary here for the people who had to skip the scary glitch music section last time. It was really unfortunate it just happened to happen at a pivotal plot moment. So if you guys don't have this phobia, there's a timestamp on screen to skip to the new content here. For everybody else, what you missed is a really funny scene with James where everyone's like, we'll beat you with the power of friendship. And he's like, what, you think I don't have friends? You think you can just say I don't have friends just because you don't like me? I was like, yeah, like, go ahead, roast him, Javis. You're very correct, actually. Yeah, this is actually quite refreshing to have a villain who's like, my motivation is also the power of friendship, but like, evil friendship. And then he separated all the ponies off into different parts of the dungeon. They had to reunite together. You briefly played as Rainbow Dash, doing a few solo fights which are mildly more difficult than fighting with a party because you couldn't heal, but I had enough items to heal anyway. Then she reunites with Flush. They have a big, great talk about their feelings, and it's like, I was only doing this because I was so worried about losing you. I didn't really think lowly of you, and they just kind of worked it all out. Comparatively speaking, it was a much better written scene than the start of the weird breakup. I got a little bit emotional, but also you weren't really missing much. And then Applejack and Twilight didn't get an emotional scene at all. You just kind of walk around and find them a few doors away. There's a cool glitchy effect of the very programming of RPG Maker itself floating in the background. We got square pieces of snow just hovering. We got clouds made of Japanese text. It was cool visually walking through it, but the music was still very, very scary. I expressed how it was a total waste of potential that we had the whole Applejack protagonist section because he didn't do anything in the time that she was a protagonist, and then immediately we go back and like now we're Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy. They've made up again and Fluttershy is a protagonist again. And now we are standing at the top of the dungeon and we are going to do whatever the ending is in this episode now. Hooray! We are now back with Finale of Horse. Apologies ahead of time if my voice sounds a little bit weird. It's the same gunky sinus, nose, throat thing I've been having for a few months now. I'll edit out all the coughs that happen, but just apologies if my voice sounds a bit creaky. Anyway, I'm excited to see final battle, presumably. So, you finally made it. Okay, listen up, you turbo nerd. You waltz into our world, build your stupid dungeons all over the place, and act like we're just supposed to let you do whatever you are. Okay, I think it's maybe not intentional that Rainbow Dash gets cut off. It might just be an actual mistake. It's happened so many times now. It makes sense as a mistake, obviously, because if you're using capital letters, it takes up more space. And in RPG Maker at the time, I think there wasn't actually a plugin yet to have auto-wrapping text. You had to manually calculate it. So it might have been a situation where she wrote out the text normal and then put it in capitals and didn't realise it became longer. That's my random explanation of my theory. I have no idea if that's correct, but I'm just throwing that out there. Well, I don't think so. We're going to take you down harder than anyone has ever been taken down. Well, if you insist. Okay, this is better than a final battle, thank you! Hello and welcome to the dating game. My name is James and I'll be your host tonight. Okay, what the heck? Also, why is the music so scary? I'm really not fond of the scary glitch music effects, to be honest. Like, I got a whole new one for me to be frightened by, but I love the funky effect. Every time this effect with the colours goes on, I love that. Okay, what the heck? Are we on TV? Oh dear. I think they just like slowed down his regular song and made it more spooky, which doesn't really fit the scene very well. Like you'd think it would be more comedic now. Unless it's gonna be a scary dating sim. Are we on TV? Oh dear. You know, that would be a really good opportunity, actually. This could have been the moment that caused the breakup between Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash. Like, we have a scene which starts off being a fully funny comedic dating sim, and then Jay just starts asking questions which, like, accidentally or purposely, if he actually was a devious manipulator, if this is a moment of like, oh, Javis has gotten serious, he's gotten stronger now, he's figured out how to trick you guys. Either way, he says some kind of questions which slowly make Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash realise that they have a few little things, but they actually are a little pissed off at each other about, like, a few things they haven't communicated clearly in their relationship. It could make it make more sense and not come out of nowhere, because it's a dating sim. You could have a TV screen showing flashbacks to the scenes before that were in some way mentally recontextualizing. It's not just a joke now, it's actually serious. This is generally a moment where Fluttershy felt bad about what Rainbow Dash said. It could all be brought together, and this could be like, whoa, this moment that you thought was silly was actually really serious as fuck, and it hit really hard emotionally. Instead, it's happening after we've already resolved all that, so I'm not sure why the music is scary. This isn't actually being televised. I just thought this would be more interesting. Now then, if you let me finish, please welcome our guests: Yellow Horse, Blue Horse, Purple Horse, and Orange Horse. We all have names, dude. I don't care. This is ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Ridiculously small, that is. Objection, the host should not be allowed to insult the contestants. Can you get a producer in here to tell him off? The rules of this game are simple. We have two pairs of romantic partners here, and you must answer trivia questions about each other. But Twilight and Applejack aren't dating each other. They've got other people back home. Is the next line going to be like, dude, we're not dating? Sounds more like a newlywed game. Fluttershy's right. Oh, and also, Applejack and I aren't dating, we're just friends. I really can't imagine Javis is an intentional manipulator. He has trouble even comprehending the basics of what's going on with our heroes. Like, come on. What's an Applejack? See? I can see him trying to be a manipulator. I can't see him succeeding. That'll be me. I'm the Apple one. Wait, really? You two aren't romantically involved? Nope. I mean, I like Twilight a lot, don't get me wrong, but we're both seeing other ponies. Well, no matter, we'll just ignore you two. That's a good excuse, at least, to have it only be the two main characters that have to participate in this. What's the point of all this, anyway? You four keep insisting you're invincible just because you have friends and relationship and just putting that claim to the test. Also, very good logical reason for him to be doing this. This insane idea within his own insane logic in a way where to him I think that explains Davis as a character. He thinks he's sympathetic and he thinks he's not the one in the wrong. He obviously isn't, but that's what makes the character interesting. And I can't imagine a world where he knows he's the villain and he's being the villain on purpose and he's good at being the villain. That would be a totally different character. But anyway, I like how he got genuinely salty about you guys saying, I don't have friends. Like, it's so funny he picked up on that one line and he's making his whole next confrontation about it rather than continuing on with the plan he was supposed to do. It's so funny. He's so salty that you guys don't believe that he genuinely cares about most of an egg and all the other random troopers. And he's like, alright, fine, I'm going to learn how to make a dating show just to spite you. How did his brain go from, I need to prove I have friends, to, I need to prove that you guys are not dating correctly, somehow? I love it. I love him. I really didn't expect this. I thought it was just going to be a boring regular fight. Not a boring regular fight, but I thought like, we'd get one cutscene and it'd be over, but we got a whole extra section here. I'm really excited. Presumably there will be actually a boss fight after this. We've got to eventually see whatever his master is, but I'm happy to have this diversion. I'm happy this is not immediately the end. If you lose, I'll annihilate you. If you refuse to participate, I'll annihilate you. And if you win, well, that won't happen. But I'll probably annihilate you. You're on. What, are you serious? See, that could have been a good moment to start having a problem. Like, if he didn't say, oh, I'll annihilate you if you say no. If it was like, if you lose, I'll annihilate you. If you refuse, just go away. And then Rainbow Dash like, I'm not going to take this standing down. I'm going to win because I'm competitive. And then Fluttershy is like, oh, why did you jump in? Now you've risked all of us dying for no reason when we could have actually left. And that could have been a genuine, actual manipulator moment Javis could have done, like deliberately setting up a trap, like, aha, I've noticed this about your personality and therefore I tricked you. And could have been good. Yeah, come on, how hard can this be? Excellent, and let's begin. Question 1. This one's for Blue Horse. The question is, what is Yellow Horse's name? Who is Zoe Trent? That seems like such a specific reference, it's got to be a real person. He doesn't know what Fluttershy's name is, so the proper answer is probably Yellow Horse. But, of course, Rainbow Dash in character would say Fluttershy, so I'm going to pick that. Oh, come on, this is so easy. Her name is Fluttershy. Next question. Oh, I'm so sorry, that's not correct. Her name is Yellow Horse, as we already established. Yeah, I'm on Javis's wavelength, and I feel bad for that because I'm not a petty and bad person, but you know what I mean. I don't have to agree with him, but I at least find him interesting. Come on, Blue Horse, I'm supposed to be an easy question. Actually, my name really is Fluttershy. Contestants are not allowed to give each other answers. I'm deducting 5 points from Team Yellow Horse and Blue Horse. Hey, where's the scoreboard? How are you keeping track of the points? I'm keeping track of the points myself. Ain't that a bit unfair? You ain't exactly an impartial judge, Javis. Or if we can, like, turn it back on him and start quizzing him about it, that would be a really funny resolution to this. Please, let me interrupt you. I can easily see it, like, we keep, like, needling him, and his pettiness won't let it go, so he agrees to, like, changing the rules or something, and then we turn it around on him. That would be actually really funny. I thought we were contestants. Question number 2! This is for Yellow Horse. Now then, what is Blue Horse's middle name? Danger. I like it's actually calling back to things I have to remember from the funny jokes before. I like how she lied it was Susan, but it really is Danger. I've known Rainbow my whole life. Of course I know her middle name. Her middle name is Danger. Rainbow Danger Dash. Just like we discussed when we found a big danger sign ahead. Okay. One negative, you don't need to point out exactly the thing it was referencing. The player will just go, wow, I like that reference, that was a fun reference. Like, again, if there was a TV screen in the background, you could have just shown the scene. That would be a good way of referencing it, rather than directly going, this is exactly the moment the joke was about. Correct, we got her first and last names wrong. Her full name is Blue Danger Horse. I'm generous and give Team Yellow Horse and Blue Horse half a point for that one. Javis, how did you know my real middle name? I know many things. Yeah, he knows lots of things. It's not our first and last names or the meanings of figures of speech. Quiet, Purple. Hey, you know, I reckon you could use a copy of a Southern Idioms Dictionary. I think Rare has one. That's a good callback. I like that. I like when a game rewards you for going out of the way to find all the optional jokes. That's a really fun thing. I don't have the time to learn the intricacies of every language spoken in every world I visit. Also, as we've established, I don't care. Question number 3. Question 3. Question 3. Question first. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I like this game summons up the hyperest and stupidest side of me. This one is for Blue Horse. Now for the question. What would you say is Yellow Horse's greatest weakness that potentially could be exploited in combat? This is dumb, you're dumb, shut up. Presumably they all give you the same answer. Shut up, dude. Can't believe you actually thought that would work. Please answer the question before I'm forced to deduct points for your score. I mean, you can just lie and say, oh, Fluttershy, she has really low defense and she's so vulnerable she can't use any magic at all, dude. Why should I even care? Oh, because he said he'll kill you if you lose. Hey, why don't we start asking Javis some questions? Yes, and you have a chance to talk. Yeah, yes, exactly what I asked for. Yeah, like what's up with this master of yours? Is that your lady friend? She is a lady and I like to consider us friends, yes. I like how we're shutting down the possibility of it being a ship. I definitely didn't see it that way myself. But again, we haven't met the character yet, so it may be different when we actually see her. But I was definitely getting the impression it's just like a weird guy who's like hero worshipping this random evil person and has no idea how to do his job. No, I mean lady friend, you know? He doesn't know idioms, this is not gonna work. I don't follow. Are you trying to take over the universe because you got the hots for some girl? They're asking if you're romantically interested in the Master Woman. What is preposterous? I can't believe you would even suggest such a thing. I don't experience feelings of romantic attraction. Yay! Arrow Ace Javis time! I mean, it's not exactly the best of representation. I mean, he does have strong feelings of friendship. That's subverting the stereotype, the idea of like, oh, we're all cold and evil and petty. I mean, he is cold and evil and petty, but he also does have love in his heart, just a totally platonic kind of love. I like that. I appreciate that. I accept you into the community, sir. But also, you've got a few issues you need to work on. My efforts to impress my master are simply out of my respect for her as a supremely powerful cosmic being and as my friend. Oh, okay. Whatever floats your boat. Boats? Why do you keep changing the subject? So I guess that's why you keep setting up all sorts of diversions every time we find you, her. This line would have been a lot better if we had multiple encounters with Javis, maybe. More than one or two things saying the dungeon was made by him. Like, we know literally when we got to his dungeon, that dungeon was made by him. There's only a very slight, missable optional scene if you backtrack to the entrance of a desert, where it implied that he was setting up the blocks in the desert. Because you're scared we're gonna kick your butt and make you look bad. Also, it didn't make any sense for him to already be doing that when he didn't know that you guys were his enemies and you didn't know he was a villain, yet he was already putting blockades for you in the desert. I guess he was generally putting blockades for whoever might come and stop him and he didn't yet know. I really feel this could have been sorted out with just one or two more scenes in the middle. Oh please, why should a mage like me be afraid of a gang of angry little rainbow horses? Maybe you should be. We've got it. Yes, I know, the magic of friendship. Yes. Say, we're Yellow Horse and Blue Horse fighting. Why do you two seem to be enjoying each other's company right now? We worked it out. Well, that's just great. I said this whole game should to exploit your bickering and you two aren't even mad at each other anymore. Okay, one point of him genuinely trying to do what you could classify as a manipulative thing, but more like him just seeing that a problem already existed and kind of jumping on it. And being so bad that he didn't actually succeed. So, yeah. I can totally see reinterpreting the character into someone who is trying to be manipulative, but I can't see him being genuinely intimidating at it or good, or it being a plot point that exists, or works. I don't know, I'm really curious how he's changed actually. I can't wait to get to the new version. Don't you care about my feelings? Not really. You're kind of a jerk. You know what, this whole plan just isn't going to work. I would teleport the four of you to random parts of the dungeon again, but I actually learned from my mistakes, unlike you four who just can't learn to leave me alone. So I'm going to give you what you want and fight you instantly. Oh, is this section already over? That's a bit of a shame. Like, we had, like, what was it, one round of the actual quiz, and then we kind of asked him one single question. I do feel this game, it's strange because the introduction felt perfectly fleshed out and paced and great. The whole thing, like, everything up to the end of, like, the first meeting of Javis, everything after that has felt like, oh, it's a bit rushed. I definitely think that, yeah, the developer might have, like, just had more ideas that she didn't manage to put in time. Or, was this game released on the deadline? Was it done for a game jam or something? That would make a lot of sense. Bonn of the future! It wasn't like a formal game jam, but it was that the developer decided herself that she wanted to finish the game by the time of her 20th birthday. So that does make a lot of things make sense. Presumably there was longer versions of these scenes which didn't make it the cut. Just remember, you asked for this. Javis appears! And yeah, that's a concept art sprite of him. I think it's a redrawn version of the concept art from a different angle. Compare it up on screen or something. I like that. That's good, that's cool. Oh, I forgot to heal up before I went in. Then again, nothing has been challenging so far. It would be really great. I would increasingly adore Javis if he was the one and only challenging boss fight in the entire game. Also, I'm not a huge fan of his boss fight, to say. I've already heard this because, I mean, I like the character, I looked up his other themes. I gotta say, I do like his overworld theme better than this song. It's a pretty good, serviceable, normal boss battle, but not necessarily the best, most fitting for the character. It's just, this is a really cool final boss kind of theme in general. And has some remixes of the same song bits, but yeah. I've always heard one of my friends spoiled what his new battle theme is in the final game. I generally don't like the music I've heard in the final game for him. I think hopefully every other song for every person would be good. I'm going off topic anyway, let's fight. Gonna kiss everybody! And Flush I can kiss on the next turn, now we've healed everyone out. Oh, he can do mega attacks! That's actually genuinely good to have him, like, that immediately sets a tone. Oh, he might be a little bit stronger. He has the moves that Twilight has which completely destroy the game. Also, now I'm not able to use Kiss on Rainbow now because I'm too busy healing her. Hooray! Again, the amount of damage is kind of similar to that one attack we saw before which took out half her HP. I'm surprised it's not more. If it had been a one hit kill, that would have really shocked me. But still, more than I expected, much more than I expected. Okay, a lightning kick attacks all enemies, so that's not going to be much useful. We may as well just stick for dive bomb. Does the item which gives electrical attacks, does it make dive bomb also electric, or does it only work on base attacks? Anyway. Presumably he might be weak to electric because, I mean, it would be like scrambling the magnets in the tape, but I don't know. You know what, let's try and see if sleep works on him. And cast a shield. I do like this bit of the song though. Resistant to sleepy. That's the first time I think, maybe the first or the second time, I don't think we've actually had to restore MP during the battle before. He's a little bit more challenging, I do appreciate it. Yeah, I don't have much MP to do this anyway, but hey. I may as well just find out, like, are you weak to frost, are you weak to fire? Oh, you're also running out too. Okay, hooray! See, that's mostly because I didn't heal anyone's MP or HP before I went in. But still, legit making me use items. I appreciate that, sir. I'm presuming you're probably not weak to Mega Scourge because you use Mega Scourge, but we did have that one mummy. Okay, that's good, we can get a distraction. See, I kind of wish Fluttershy had distraction because she's still the one with the most defense. I don't think Applejack is actually better. And now I can finally kiss Rainbow Dash! Hooray! Also, I missed seeing if the Scorch was effective or not. Oopsie doopsie. Okay, Bonn of the Future has to be petty and cutting here. Note how, immediately after I use Distraction, the next thing he targets is the person that I use Distraction on. Remember that when we play the final game. The equivalent of this move is Taunt, and I will have words about how I feel about Taunt in the final game. It's one of the very few things I think wasn't improved. Yeah, she's not tanking more damage than Fluttershy, so yeah. I mean, speaking of like, the whole part is like, you've got a 50-50 chance of hitting the two kind of tanky members or the two fragile members, so a taunt attack is not necessarily the best, because, I mean, it's not even particularly high odds anyway, so yeah. We haven't really seen an enemy so far whose AI knows to specifically target the weak ones and consistently does that. It seems to just be completely random. I'll just tackle Rainbow Dash. I should have saved some MP for kissing Fluttershy. But again, I'm not sure if we really need it. And again, I didn't pay attention to whether Scorch was effective. See, I'm too distracted trying to talk to you guys. Rarity Shield is still up, so what can Applejack even do? I'll just try and confuse again. It's kind of weird that a character who was very strong. I missed. Oh, I didn't miss. Okay, so Frost is neutrally effective. Okay. But yeah, it's kind of weird that a character who is like a physical-based one in the show has become like a defensive and status-inflicting one here, because, I mean, she is a physical one, but the other physical one is better, and she is a defensive one, but the other defensive one is better. And there's also someone else who can do one status, but she can do two statuses now, but they're not very useful and they haven't hit very often, so okay. Anyway, have a Scorch. This isn't really an enjoyable final boss battle. It's definitely more challenging, but it's more like I'm getting a chance to actually use the abilities sometimes. Okay, I'll finally use the Lasso and Sleep. I thought, what if the reason you have both that and Sleep? Maybe Sleep is like a weaker version of Lasso. Maybe Lasso is more effective. Like, it doesn't go off. Like, if you hit the enemy, it doesn't wake it up. So maybe that's the reason why there's two of them. I can't believe I didn't think about that earlier. Oh cool, he can do multi-hits. I wish he'd be doing that more often. Oh, and it just failed. Have we even managed to succeed on getting a single status effect on him? Maybe he's just resistant to all status effects. Okay, so he's neutral to all magics. I'm gonna be frank here, we probably can just bam 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 and take him out. That would be the most fitting way to end this thoroughly unsatisfying combat system. Oh, we didn't even know we had one bam. One single bam. Okay. Ready to call it quits yet, dude? I was expecting more. Why do I keep getting my hopes up when I know it's not gonna happen? I'm gonna expect more from the final game. I'm gonna be so happy to play this game, but with an actual combat system that works. That would be great. Oh, is this a person? Oh, you look like the person who I know is in the final game. I saw you in one of the beta devlogs when he was working on, and apparently you're important in the second game. I think your name is Verona. I still don't really like the design because she's just a regular human but with dark eyes, and it's the only regular human. I mean, I guess that's a point in the contrast to make her look more scary and stuff, but okay, I guess this character didn't really have much of a role and was just the out-of-nowhere final master boss who has like one scene in the original. I guess maybe in the final version she's been expanded upon with multiple scenes. I know that apparently something happens with her and a dragon person. I didn't look too deeply into the spoilers, but I managed to see that by accident, so yeah. Whoever this is, maybe you'll be cool. I like that your dress matches Javis. I have no other opinions so far. Hello, Javis. You didn't tell me we would be having guests. Your Highness! Oh, hello! I wasn't expecting you to arrive so soon. If you'll just give me a moment, I can take care of these intruders, then we can talk. No, please, I'd like to speak with your little friends. So, your horses? We don't have to give any answers to you. If you're Javis' boss, it must mean you're even more evil than he is. Is it like that subversion? She's actually nice, and she's like, Javis, I didn't ask you to destroy the world, go away, and it just ends anticlimactically as a joke. That would be funny, but also not very satisfying. Well, I think she can figure out that we're horses. Talking horses, no less. How quaint. You like them? Of course, they're so cute and small. It'll be a fun universe to rule. Yes, of course, such adorable subjects. Just a couple of hours ago, you were calling us irresponsibly small. Not a couple of hours ago. Approximately, less than half an hour ago, the last time we met him? And that was also the first and only time he said it, because we only just found out he was a villain. Seriously, there must have been some missing scenes here. You must have misheard me, dear Orange Horse. I believe I described you as responsibly small. I'm sorry to say, Miss, where are my manners? My name is Queen Verena. Okay, I thought it was Verona, but it's Verena. Okay. Well, Miss Verena, I'm afraid we aren't going to let you take over our world so easily. Ah, these horses are such jokesters, Javis. How lovely. You really will have a lot of fun here. Is the ANA Clan's going to be like, well, I thought you'd go to a dimension and ask them if I can rule, and they'd consensually let you do that. I'm not evil at all. What the hell? Fun is one word for it. What did you say? Nothing, Your Highness. Listen, lady, we just kicked your buddy's butt, so unless you want the same thing to happen to you, I suggest you hop right back in a glowy box thing and go home. Oh, is it meant to be a box, not a flat carpet on the floor? What Rainbow said, we're not afraid of you. Okay, this isn't funny anymore, now it's just sad. You poor things are so delusional. I'm probably the most powerful being you'll ever have the pleasure of meeting. My family has conquered us. Okay, so you are just evil, and I guess the Joker's just slightly more polite evil? I'm not really getting much of a sense of personality from you yet. Except, I guess, some generic princess girl who likes horses? I guess it's kind of an idea, having, like, the villain be the stereotypical person who likes the TV show in the first place, maybe? I don't know. My family has conquered dozens of universes, reshaping them into beautiful kingdoms. Beautiful kingdoms! Beautiful kingdoms! There's not very many typos in this game, but when it does happen, it's funny. With James' help, I've been searching for a kingdom of my own for years. Now, at long last, I've found one. That could be a cool idea for the world building, the idea of, like, world-destroying overlords. Like, they don't do it because of any intentional evil, it's just like a tradition for their family, and they don't know that there's anything wrong. It's like, yeah, I'll reshape it and it'll be better, and I'll be a benign queen and stuff like that. Cool. Would have been great if you had more scenes of even more expanding on that. Now at long last I found one. Like it or not, your universe is now my property. Oh, are you like Frieza? I find it so funny when someone pointed out, like, Frieza, when you think about it, in Dragon Ball, he's just like a property developer. And the whole plot is just him trying to illegally become a landlord of Earth. That does make a lot of sense when you point it out, but I can never unsee him wearing a little suit and a tie. It would be so funny. And there's nothing you adorable little scamps can do to stop me, except have a big boss fight. Oh, that makes sense why Javis wasn't actually particularly strong, because he's not the final boss fight. I didn't even think, I was just getting carried away with how much I like Javis. I forgot that we will actually have to fight the Master too. I suppose if you truly wish to fight me, then I have to oblige. Okay, yeah, so I will just say, not a very interesting or fun idea for a final boss fight. It's just the person we barely know about and have never talked to before, and then it's very early JRPG, the space flee from nowhere trope, and like, it doesn't even feel as justified by the plot as it was with Necron in Final Fantasy IX. I'll forever stand by that Necron is not the worst, or anywhere near the worst case of that. I found it was very clearly explained that, you know, this is just the spirit of death, the god of death. We are fighting the god of death as a consequence of what the main villain actually did, and therefore it is connected to the plot. It didn't come out of nowhere. It also was not particularly a great final boss fight, because, I mean, the previous fight with the actual villain was more climactic and more fun, actually. I get that, but I also will stand like, it was very clearly explained. Like, his name is Necron. He still says what his Japanese name is directly in his dialogue, the Shadow of Eternity. Like, it's very clear this guy is, he says he represents death, he says he brings death, he says fighting him will stop death from happening. I don't get why people didn't get this as, like, this universe's equivalent of the Grim Reaper. I guess just because he looks blue and not stereotypically like you expect. Anyway, to go over on a tangent about a totally different game, to come back, this character is mostly cut from the same cloth, but it actually is genuinely just, yeah, here is a person who has no real connection to the main plot. I mean, we were told she existed the whole time, we knew eventually we'd see her, so it's not a big letdown or a surprise, but it's also not good. Generally, if we'd seen one or two scenes, that would have been a bit more, or had more of an idea of who she is. I generally feel that fighting someone who actually was in the story is always much better than a sudden new person who you just told is stronger. But anyway, let's fight her. Maybe she actually will be stronger. Maybe we'll finally get that. Maybe this will be the one fight that challenges Bonn. Like, I don't want to settle for, oh, it's a little bit more challenging. I want to settle for it was actually difficult to win. Like, genuinely, not just it was worse than the other ones. Oh, she just guarded for that turn. Does that mean she's preparing for a better attack next turn, or was it just a random backfire of the AI? Okay, so she just has a really big HP bar, okay. Let's find out what you're weak to. I might as well just cast regular ones until I see what you're weak on. I'll cast Distraction. Okay, I'll cast Kiss Rarity. Attacks for Reality itself. Oh, Reality itself is really weak. What the hell? Why are you dealing less than Javis did? I can't even say it's because I've got the shield up. I had the shield up last time. I had everyone on boost last time. Are you weak to lightning too? Oh, that's a multiple hit. Are you weak to lightning too? You're weak to frost. I'll eat a regular ether. I'm probably gonna go a whole other game without ever using most of an egg. I feel sad eating most of an egg. Even though it's like a better version of an ether. Yeah, when is she gonna do something? I'm gonna say the song is okay. It's also not particularly. It's not really more dramatic than the last song, but it's okay. So you can eat an ether too. Have you got distraction on? Okay, now we've got distraction on. I mean, that might be useful. Actually, distraction might make us potentially have more difficulty with it. That'd be great if, like, that multi-hit attack will now hit 4 times on Apple Deck and it'll be genuinely challenging. That'd be great. Let's make the fight harder for ourselves so it's more fun. I think it might just be one of those ones where, like, it's a marathon boss. It's not particularly hard. Nothing much really happens, but it takes a long time. Oh, maybe that's the reason we had the cinnamon, where if you use the item it'll attack the enemy at the cost of some of your HP, because that might be the only way to make Fluttershy have a useful attack. Okay, once again I wasn't paying attention to whether she had a weakness to any elements. I'm presuming she didn't, so okay, I'm catching thoughts so I don't actually pay attention this time. It is genuinely hard sometimes to do a Let's Play because you have to both talk and also pay attention to what's actually happening on the screen. I'm bad at multitasking like that. I'm good at multitasking on playing a video essay in the background while playing a game for some reason though, but not me being the one making it. And our shield hasn't even worn off yet, so there really isn't much for Appetite to do. I doubt she's going to be, like... If Javis resistant to all status effects, she probably also is. Yeah. Okay, no, so it doesn't. We're just... Seriously, every turn she's dealing so little damage. What is up with this? Did you mean the bosses to be the other way around? I didn't pay attention again! See, that's also a problem. When you're not engaged and you're not enjoying the battle system, it's hard to pay attention to what's actually happening. Because, I mean, you can just go bam, bam, bam and win. So why would you pay attention to doing anything else? I mean, I'm actively trying to, I'm wanting to, and I'm still getting distracted. I miss Corboros. Can we bring back Corboros? Okay, no, nothing there. Okay. So all our kisses fell off? All our kisses fell off. That's a funny way of phrasing it. But I guess the rarity shield just lasts forever and never wears off. That's a bit overpowered. Okay, and Aphrodite doesn't have much MP, so she's really not very good as a status user, so... did they just kind of randomly throw every leftover skill on Aphrodite and had no idea of what she was supposed to be? She certainly does have one attack. Like, Javis was casting multiple things, right? I'll try lightning key, like, What if the item isn't actually working, that isn't actually giving us a risk, and what if she actually was weak to lightning? Well, find out for sure that it definitely is lightning. And then you can cast Frost. And you can literally just sit here and do nothing. Like, I mean, I don't even need to cast Kiss on Applejack, because she already didn't have very low defense anyway. Yeah, it does only 54 to her without even the Kiss on. So yeah, she's not weak to anything. Okay, I'll just start throwing random stuff on you. Also, I find it kind of boring when a final boss is like, I'm resistant to every element, I'm resistant to every status effect. So you kind of have limited options of what to actually do for the fight, and it becomes a little bit more boring. Nothing to do for the apple. Shouldn't have wasted an ether on you. Oh, I thought we had at least one more turn left of her. It keeps being even easier than I expected somehow. Like, how could a game continue making me surprised? I knew going in this was going to happen. Anyway, Your Highness, I can't believe those wretched ponies managed to beat you. You must have gone easy on them. I mean, I think she did, because she was literally weaker than you. Your Highness? Farina, hello? Oh no, is she gonna die? I didn't want to kill her! Farina, what are you doing? You're gonna destroy his entire house. Okay, that was her trying to use an attack and she wasn't moving. I guess her sprite is too complicated to animate, like her holding her hands up or something to cast a spell. I can defeat them. I only need more powers. I guess we're getting a personality trait for you is like, you're a sore loser? I mean, I assumed so because I guess Javis learned it from you. We can just find another universe to conquer. To conquer! Your Highness, please stop before you kill us! You see it every time, Javis, and every time I have to flee back to my family and tell them I still don't have a kingdom of my own. Poor little Farina, the youngest daughter of the family, they pity me in front of my face. They laugh and gossip about how there must be something wrong with me behind my back. I'm telling you all my personality and motivations after you've already defeated me rather than before. That seems an odd choice. But no, it's not me. It's like, and it's a very basic plot too. It's like, I'm just kind of doing this because my evil family, and like I feel bad, and I'm not as evil as the rest of my evil family. So I'm gonna just be evil. I'm gonna be exactly like them. Okay. I could see the redemption potential if this was like a longer plot. You could convince her and tell her like, yeah, you don't have to be evil. You can be better than them, and we could all be friends. That might be nice, including Javis. I want to be Javis's friend a lot more. But anyway, but no, it's not me. I finally figured it out. It's you, Javis. You've been holding me back all these years. No, he's literally not. He's literally like 10 times stronger than you, and you just failed entirely on your own merits. You literally had one attack. I was expecting it was going to be, I didn't mention this before, I was expecting it was going to be a very boring plot, and then she betrays Javis and kills him or something, to prove how scary she is. Maybe she's going to have a second phase that's going to be stronger and actually scary, like she's going to like eat Javis and absorb his power or something, proving once more that Javis was the only one in this operation that was even remotely competent. And that's saying a lot because he is shit at his job, but evidently you're a lot worse, so yeah. So this time I'm taking matters into my own hands, which I can't raise on my sprite. Are you two almost done talking about your problems? Come on, y'all, we better skedaddle before this lady blows up the whole mountain or something. That's a little bit awkward how the sprites went up. Can we talk to Javis? I would like to grab Javis and run off the mountain, but I can't. Oh well. Weird this is interactable and like not just a cutscene. I will inevitably delay my attack, precisely as long as it takes for you to get to safety. Oh, do we have to actually run for the whole fucking dungeon, backtrack the whole thing? There's no changes except it's slightly vibrating? Really bad choice, this should have just been a cutscene. No, we gotta backtrack for the whole of the fucking forest too. Okay, thankfully. Goodness gracious! You're not getting our... Okay, it's now exceeded enough that it's going to be a genuine flaw I'm logging on the game. This cut-off text problem, you really should have checked it for specifically the most dramatic moments. Like, in those moments, make sure the typos are fixed there. As if we're afraid of you. Fluttershy, what are you doing? You have to get out of it. I would say that could have hypothetically been a good moment of Fluttershy showing now she's learned to be brave, but also it doesn't work because there is no reason to be actually afraid of her. She's actually a really shit boss. No. What? I said no. Babe, I'm really glad you're feeling more confident now, but sometimes you have to know when to call it quits. Actually, why is everyone thinking this is going to be really strong and hard to beat when she wasn't before? Why did we let her do the power-up? Why didn't we just punch her in the face because we'd already beaten her? Again, I feel like an idea for a moment was here, but we didn't get the build-up to make it actually happen, and it just feels kind of like arbitrarily the hand of the author has sent it down and said, no, seriously, Verena is really strong in her second form, honest, and there was no possible way you could have stopped that second form from happening, really obviously by walking up to her and pressing the Z button. Anyway, there's no way you can handle it on its own, we have to find help for some reason. No, I'm tired of being a coward. Also, I was going to say this sounded like a good moment of Fluttershy having her moment, but now we're just going and explaining the moment more clearly. It's not as dramatic. Like, you didn't need to outright say, now I am no longer coward, now I am brave. I got that immediately from the first line. I was very proud of you. I'm tired of always running away from every problem, except you haven't once in the whole game. Like, I guess you ran away from touching the fireplace in that optional joke at the beginning. Every other time you've been like, oh, I don't know if we should do this. We should do this. Okay, I agree, we'll do this. I'm going to be brave. Every single time. And we also had a whole arc of you going, I hate that everyone assumes I can't do things. I'm actually stronger than it looks. And the whole point was Rainbow Dash agreeing with that, and we talked through it, so... it's weird to have a development in this order, having this after that moment already happened. If we don't take Verena out now, we lose. We don't have time to get help. First, I don't know if you noticed, but Verena got pretty big. I didn't even make out that was supposed to be her face in the glitches. I can kind of at least understand if she's just really tall now. That would make sense as like, oh, but it's a bit scary now, but yeah. I know we've fought plenty of monsters before, but it's way out of our league because, as we all know, size equals power. And we haven't fought a single massively tall Colossus in this game which had 0 fucking attacks. Anyway, you know what, Rainbow? I learned something about... That would have been fun and cool as a foreshadowing if it turns out that those were Verena's feet the whole time, and she was disguised as a random enemy. That would have been cool. Don't know how that would have worked into the plot, just a random fucking idea, but anyway. You know what, Rainbow? I learned something about myself today. Are we going to have a really cheesy speech? Can this wait? Okay, thank you. It's purposefully awkward. I'll be with you in a moment, Verena. I've realised that for my entire life I've been scared about just about everything. I didn't even think twice about it. I just accepted being scared. I don't actually have any reason to be scared. On this whole adventure, there hasn't been anything that was too impossible to even handle. Yes, you already had an arc. You already established all of this. The way it was established in the argument of Rainbow Dash felt like you already knew this and already knew this before the game even started. This was an obvious fact that everyone in the whole world knew. And that was why you were upset that people were assuming the opposite. And now you're like, I've only just realised this thing that was vital to the conversation I had before. Anyway, turns out I'm kind of great. I just never realised it. When there's something too scary for me to handle on my own, my friends are there to help me. This would have been a nice arc if this had actually happened. It's not just me, right? This is coming out of nowhere. And it was already solved. Especially you, Rainbow. Haven't you been listening to Twilight all this time? Not really. Rainbow, we've got a secret weapon that Verena doesn't have. And yeah, this is also really not satisfying as a resolution to just be, and then we say yet again that we have the power of friendship, and like, yeah, nothing's been solved, nothing's been gained, we already had that. Please tell me what you're about to say. It's the power of love. Okay, the power of love at least. But that's also something we've had the whole time. We're going to have an animation and do a big attack. I guess it's going slow because it's synced to the music. Oh, okay. okay. It's winning me back. It's winning me back. I was going to say if it was like the fucking Sea and Hatterful boyfriend, and it's exactly that. Thank you. I love a good magical girl parody. Also, really well done, actually. Like, that's a lot of cutscene assets to be layering on top of each other. Also, I love how Rainbow Dash has fluffy feet. That was, again, I've mentioned that was a trait that only the boy ponies had in G1, so I'm going to choose to believe that's because she's a tomboy. And it's not just a random design trait that the creator just picked for no reason. Hi, Verena appears. Also, does it mean we're only fighting with Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash and the other two just kind of sitting on their Todd? Also, that's a really boring design, just being eyes. And I guess like a really faded, hard to see, like, outline the rest of it made out of the glitches. I would have unironically preferred to fight... Yeah, This is a really bad, I don't like that. I really don't like that, the idea, like, okay, it's not about friendship, actually, it's just about love, so we're gonna just throw away half of the party members, and evidently become weaker because Twilight was the only one who was strong in our whole party, so, okay. Like, I get that, like, if it's a magical lesbian love, magical girl transformation, it can't be including the other two because for some reason their love interests aren't allowed to be in the plot. But it could have been, like, these two transform and we still have the other two there as supporters. That would have been interesting and made sense. Or it could have been Javis comes along and the other two fight Javis, and, like, in the background as an excuse for why they're not here. That could have also worked. Okay, she finally has an actual attack skill. That's interesting. And it costs no MP. Oh, is this gonna be a scripted fight you just win? I don't like those for final phases. I don't want a Yu Yevon. And she just still has the same boring attack, but does even less now. I guess they had to lower the damage he deals on the attack because we can't put the defense up shield now, but we didn't need it that much in the first place, so... Oh. It is just... Yeah. It's even worse than the usual scripted final boss. It is Yu Yevon. It's like, it's not even just finishing the cutscene. You have to continue battling, but there's no way you can lose now. You just have to keep hitting the super effective mega attack, which does all the best damage every single turn, and just do nothing else. Okay. I mean, I guess we can kiss each other to make it go a little bit faster? Presumably, if that buff still applies on the new attack. I'm genuinely like, this is actually making me a little bit peeved. These are very, very poor final boss fights. I was kind of thinking, oh, even if the game is like, most of it hasn't been challenged, what if the final boss is finally a challenge? That would have been really good. Would have made it all feel dramatic and worth it. Let's see, do I even need to heal once to win this, actually? That's probably what I'm expecting. I'll probably just have to cast heal once on Rainbow, which has slightly less defense. Yeah, we attack with one attack, she attacks with one attack. I can't believe this isn't deliberate to make it bad on purpose. Like, I'm not sure how you can miss the idea of just a fight where only two attacks occur in the fight would be inherently less interesting than all the previous attacks that happened. All the previous fights. Actually, what happens if we just literally hit her normally? That's not even significantly less than the super effective one. Like, I think we were dealing 244, right? Okay, well, she got it, so we can't get a good judge of it from there. So let's see how much more does it do than a regular attack. Yeah, 237 versus, like, 200 on a regular attack. That's not very dramatic at all, is it? I mean, I guess at least, I mean, for Fluttershy it's doing more because she can't do a regular attack, but I'm not gonna go. We're gonna end this how we began this. Bap, bap, bap. And again, I couldn't even get the free baps in. Oh, wow. That was incredible. No, it wasn't. It was really shit. How the heck did you all do that? Random arbitrary joke powers. Shrug. You know, I'd like to say something. I would have liked you to be in the battle and do something. That's the first. I'm sorry for all the dungeon noise. Okay. This is the worst possible way to handle this character arc! I was saying there should have been a moment for Twilight getting through this, and there should have been a moment for her arc. Instead it's just, okay, we've resolved everything, I'm just gonna say now I've solved my problems. Okay? By watching you two make out as magical girls in the sky, I somehow got over my emotional issues. Okay? I'm sorry for all the dungeon nonsense this weekend. I don't even know what I was thinking. Seeing you two work together like that. Okay, literally we are going to say seeing you two just made me realise my problems. I realised that no number of friendship dungeons could force anyone to build what kind of bond you two have. It's okay, Twilight, everyone makes mistakes. You gotta admit, it's an awfully weird mistake to make. The game's sense of humour is still brightening it up in the darkest of moments. I do love the music, and it syncs up very well in the cutscene. Oh, hello. Howdy, Queenie. Don't bother with the pleasantries, it's patronising. You can tell my leadership skills aren't appreciated. I'm not going to bother conquering this world. Okay, weird little ponies are happy. Not really, this was not a good ending. I was comparatively more happy when we first started and we were having a fun game show with Javis. We are. Your Highness, there you are, thank goodness! Can we please have a plot of him realising she's shit and ditching her? Like, seriously. Let's start over, okay? Let's just forget all this happened and try the next universe on the list. Maybe we'll find a world of regular horses, Wouldn't it be nice? I know how much you liked these ones before you realised they were evil. Yeah, exactly! Javis doesn't know he is evil. Javis genuinely is weirdly misguided. I'm glad the game is outright confirming my headcanon at the last minute. Your Highness, could you please give me back my staff? I need that to do magic. Goodbye, Javis. Verena? Verena! Looks like she dumped you, dude. Why are we continuing to joke when it's a relationship when he just outright said he's not attracted to women or anyone in general? Like, a bit inconsiderate of the guy. But then again, he is a villain, so I mean, it's kind of up for grabs to insult him on anything, even if it's something that doesn't make sense. How am I supposed to get home now? I guess I have to stay here. Oh yay! Will he get a redemption arc and be a friend eventually? I would really like that. Really? After all the trouble I put you tiny horses through, you would take me in? Okay, I'm genuinely surprised. Did the game the entire time have a Javis redemption arc, and I just never got far enough to see it? Was my whole worries about the remake not having a Javis redemption arc redundant? Was the whole reason they changed to not have one because he already had one before and they wanted to make it spice up and a bit different? Okay, I'll take this. Consolation prize for 3 bad battles in a row. Yay! Yes. Congratulations, Javis, you're under royal arrest. You're in a nice cozy jail cell of your very own. Okay, it's subverted. It's funny, but also I wish it wasn't. Yeah, I've been waiting to do that all weekend. Why you? Anything you say, canon will be held against you in a royal court of royal law. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's bad. I mean, it's obviously intentional for the joke, but like, I don't feel like he was actually unredeemable. I don't feel like this would be the best possible ending for him. I feel like genuinely that could have genuinely actually been a heartwarming moment if it wasn't jokey. And that's something, none of these heartwarming moments have really hit very hard because the majority of the game has been jokes and nothing else. That's why it felt so strange and out of nowhere for Fluttershy to suddenly get really serious. I think the final version, which apparently I'm told has got like actual emotional development for the characters the whole way through and like motivations and reasons for things that are happening the whole way through. I think it'll definitely handle these things better. I'm looking forward to seeing the equivalent of all these scenes. I despise you, minuscule abominations of every fibre of my being. Yeah, you've just made him unredeem himself. He genuinely for 1 second was considering it. Oh, come on, Twilight. That's why it bugs me. Twilight's like, I've learned my lesson, goes ahead and makes another problem for herself immediately, but again thinking she knows best about friendship. Oh, come on. You really crinkle my tape, you know that. Wait, what? It's an expression, you clod. That's a good climax to his character. So they do have idioms in his universe, they're just very different ones. That's enough out of you, let's go. I reckon I should get back to Rarity. She's worried about me enough today. I have to think of something nice to do for her to make up for all the stress. Yeah, that's kind of all we've done in the plot is just... where Rarity was worried about me, Rarity has continued to be worried about me. I just kind of went over here and I'm going to go over there. I would suggest maybe the plot could have worked if you did just stick to only 3 party members, the ones that actually got time and development. I feel sad for Applejack, but generally I think of how badly she was handled, it might have been better for her to not be here at all. Bye, Applejack, have fun with Rarity. Later, like if she was just an NPC in the town who hung out with Rarity and we saw more in their relationship, or like she was just a character who got kidnapped by Javis briefly, we go to rescue her, but she didn't join the party and she didn't fake us out with her being the protagonist briefly, and there was so much wasted potential. I'm hoping in the final version that we are getting a more expanded, more actual detailed version of whoever AJ becomes in the new universe. I would like that. Either that or just remove the character. You should probably be heading home too. Yeah, some rest sounds pretty good right about now. Sorry we never got to do it on a date this weekend. It's okay, Rainbow, I still had a nice time. Not like we have normal jobs to worry about during the week anyway, we can just go out tomorrow. Alright. So we headed to my place or yours? Mine sounds good, I need to check on Angel. Is he still doing tutorials? Sure, let's go. Oh, and now we have to walk, okay. I guess it's like Undertale, or maybe like we could only go in the right place we need to. Any new dialogue from talking to anybody else here? Hello? We saw you two fighting the big angry lady. Okay. We're going to end this Let's Play off with me running around to every possible area to see if there's any new bonus text. Hell yeah! You two are even stronger than we thought. You were incredible. That's actually funny, just half the exclamation point cut off. I such have taken the liberty of informing the other monsters in fairness of your strength. Your strength. Your strength. Your strength. We now know you are not to be messed with. It won't cause you trouble anymore. So it is like, I was just going to say, it's like Undertale where you can walk back through the whole map and there won't be any fights anymore. Let's go do that. Oh, that's how I can explain it. I feel like if there had been more emotional sincerity throughout the game, it would have built up those moments and made them feel genuine. That's why it felt so out of nowhere. Not just the fact that Fluttershy was serious, but also the fact it was like, oh, we're expected to take people's emotions seriously right now, when throughout most of the game it'll just be kind of a joke. Oh, characters will randomly be mean to each other for the joke, or like they won't, or like, yeah, like Rainbow Dash saying that Fluttershy is fragile, so to speak. Like, any of the lines that potentially could have been foreshadowing that, they all just came off as jokes, so it felt weird that suddenly Fluttershy is taking it seriously, like it was meant to be an actual emotional moment all along and not a joke. I mean, hypothetically I can see that being a good, like, oh whoa, you thought it was a joke but actually it wasn't kind of moment, but you need to put more into it. You need to have like a flashback to it, or any development of it, and like building it up, foreshadowing it early on. And now we're expected to really genuinely care, but nothing so far has required us to really genuinely care, so it just feels a bit strange. It's like, oh, I'm not prepared for that. I need to like code switch my brain around to this being a normal game and not an insane parody. I'm really looking forward to how they manage to balance like genuine emotional sincerity and also funny humour. I think it'll be really good. I've got all my fingers crossed in the world for the final one. Oh yeah, confirmed, this one particular scene, I think her requirements for setting it off are just bugs, because here it's having Twilight talking, which is not even in the party. Can't go back and talk to Pinkie Pie? Hey, oh, it's because she went to hang out with Twilight. Are they going to go on a date now? Hey, where'd Javis go? I thought he was with you. Teleported him to Horsington along with a letter explaining what happened this week. It's Celestia and Luna's problem now, so we're missing even the opportunity to have some funny scenes of him being locked up in prison and like Twilight interrogating him and stuff. Oh, that's a shame. But at least it's funny imagining him interacting with Celestia and Luna. That's the spirit. That video guy sure was something. When he saw me, he said, how many of you little things are there in this unbearable world? Then he kept ranting about how small I was compared to him and said a lot of bad words I don't exactly want to repeat. Okay, we are technically getting a little bit more of a Javis scene. Thank you, Pinkie Pie. So speaking of things we weren't clear on, like, I expect I would be able to get to talk to Javis in this go around and talk to everybody else epilogue. That would have been cool. Even if it was just him in a bubble being like, "Concern you horses, let me out." That would still be nice. That'd be fun. I like him and I want to talk to him more. So speaking of things we weren't clear on, Pinkie, I thought you were working today. Oh, actually, I asked the cake so I could have my old position back at the inn. That manager position just wasn't for me. I didn't have any free time left to spend with my best friends and my girlfriend. So, your character arc was undoing your character arc. The one that happened off screen before the game even started. I really hope you have an expanded role in the final versions. I still feel I barely know you. Besides, I don't really need the money anyway. I mean, there weren't even any stores in town till today, and that one's run by little kids. What's up with that anyway? It's a long story. So now everything's back to normal. With a nose! I have gained a nose! Yep, looks like everything worked out for us. Well, that's good. Maybe and I should probably be going though. Have a nice evening. Can I get bestiary entries for Javis? Mount Gay. Yep, Tape Troopers. Tape Troopers are Javis's grunts. Are they actually related to him? Are they like the same species? Are they people he's brought home from his home dimension who work for him? Are they his babies that he makes himself? Because my first instinct was like, oh, Javis has like literally VHS copied his head and made a child. Tape Troopers are Javis' grunts. They're the same species of Javis. Okay, as in their videotapes. Guess that might mean there's a whole world somewhere in the multiverse populated with talking videotapes. Weird. Yay, okay, so they're just like, I guess his co-workers or his neighbours? Maybe James just made a bunch of grunts that look like him, who knows? Okay, so even the game is like both of your headcanons are valid, Bonford. Thank you! Fun police officers are beefed up versions of Tape Troopers. They also get very angry when it looks like others are having fun, so they declare that fun isn't allowed and keep you from using special skills. Dang, that sounds like a pretty awful disadvantage. It was not. It was not at all. You can just defeat everything by hitting with basic attacks. That's one thing I can give for those final few fights. At least I was using more things than just basic attacks. At least that was happening. Not much more was happening, but one thing was happening. I was putting up defense and attack boosts. That was happening. A thing occurred! These guys sound like real downers. Oh, also, I didn't even remember to mention, but the Fun Police, I think, is a reference to this one panel from Archie Sonic, which Ponette posted on her Archie Sonic. I don't know the context beyond it, it's just really funny. Another one I liked was a meme from Sonic the Hedgehog is slurping up the slop faster than my slop slinging machine can dish it out. And I don't know the context of that, but that was also really funny. And, my own clone! Now neither of us will be virgins! And it's paint arsehole! There's a lot of funny memes I've seen of this comic I have never read. Anyway, nothingness. Nothing? You thought nothing? I have nothing to say about it. It's kind of terrifying. You know, over the course of this weekend, you fought eggs and pine cones and tumbleweeds and all sorts of other weird junk. But this is nothing. It's literally nothing. It doesn't exist, but you fought it anyway. This takes the cake. This is officially the weirdest enemy ever. I wouldn't go that far. I still think most of an egg. Cosmic warriors are tough. Nope. It may have the same energy released when Javis scrambles reality and breaks everything down. Okay, that's cool lore for them. That might have made me more interested in them if I'd heard that earlier. You can only attack by punching and kicking though, so I guess they could be a lot stronger. Yeah, they're just shit. Most of the enemies are like that. Most of the enemies, like, they either only punch or they were supposed to have another attack. The battle didn't last long enough to see it. What's wrong with kicking? Nothing, dear. Kicking is a very good strategy. Cosmic Spectres seem to be a combination of Misty Spectres and the engine that makes up Cosmic Warriors, or something like that. Like, Cosmic Warriors... Oh, it must be just a coincidence we happen to see one of these. Oh, it's an error! It's an error! I spawned an error! I spawned a small typo. It's got the same name as the previous one, but it's actually not. That's the one and only time that's happened, so hooray. Like, Cosmic Warriors are made of pure energy. They also know how to cast Scorch and even multi-Scorch, making them the toughest goons and fairest. They're not. They're really not. Did we ever see one cast multi? I didn't know we could cast multi. Come on! Was the game meant to be played at a lower level or something? Like, maybe if this game had, like, a difficulty selection or, like, a cap on the levels, that might have helped. But yeah, I was gonna say, we saw one of these guys before the Cosmic Warriors, so I guess it was just totally random order. I guess it's supposed to be an upgraded version. Fortunately, they aren't weak to anything. Unfortunately, nobody needs to be weak to anything to go down easy as hell. So this is a guy you've been trying to stop all weekend. Yes, Javis, I want Javis information. Good job on finally taking him out. Thanks. Now let's see, Javis is a mage who hops from universe to universe, trying to take over worlds for Verena. Or at least that's what he used to do before he got fired. He would command Verena's troops and use those big scrambler things to mix up the fabric of reality and break everything down into a simpler form, so Verena could turn into whatever she wanted. Oh, so the glitchy stuff is literal. That's what the building blocks of a universe look like. That's actually fun. I guess she'd like reprogram the world to be whatever she wanted. With his staff, he could teleport and cast all sorts of spells, including Twilight, Scorch, and Frost spells. It would have been cool if he could teleport in the battle and that was a move, like it make him miss an attack for a turn or something. That would have been neat. His likes include Verena, his minions, and world domination. His dislikes include figures of speech and ponies. For some reason, he's fascinated with your size. I don't know, your ponies don't seem that little to me. He's currently living in a jail cell in Horsington, DC. That would have been great if we only now finally get to see Horsington, DC, and it's like a really funny parody place or something, and then you can just visit him and he has like one line of dialogue and that'll be a funny end. But unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen. Verena was Javis' boss. She travels from universe to universe to try and find a world she can conquer. That's a thing her family just likes doing, apparently. I still think that's not a very good motivation. I can hypothetically see how that could have worked, but if we had like flashbacks to her sadness being the odd one out, like being forced to go into villainy because like, oh, it's so idealized by the family, and then making like, oh, well, you're the one who isn't good at villainy because you have the potential to have a good heart and become a friend, and something like that. But we just didn't get any of that. I'm just like, yeah, I care nothing, I think nothing for this character. She liked the idea of ruling a world filled with ponies, but only until you put up a fight. She doesn't really move all that much, it's kind of creepy, especially with those intense eyes. Okay, I'm not going to say that means it was on purpose. I think that's just a funny meta joke on the idea that like the sprite wasn't very finished. It would make a lot of sense if this game was indeed rushed, like adding additional animations to Queen Verena was definitely like thrown on the chopping block floor. Verena's only attackable is attacking with the power of the universe, but involves lots of red flash. It hits everyone in the party, which makes her the toughest opponent in fight. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It just doesn't. Javis did cast multi at one point, because that's why I was comparing. His attack did more damage to all of us than hers did. And why are we a lampshade? She has only one attack. That's a bad thing to do for your final boss, right? But attacks are technically ice attacks, so having ice pendant helps. Great, we didn't need that and we didn't care, but we just cast one shield and it was useless. And even when we were unshielded, it still didn't do much damage anyway, so I kind of think I over-prepared for that fight. I probably could have just sat there and kept hitting her. Hyper Verena, oh my god. Okay, that's funny, at least. There's still no purpose to this room. I guess it was another one of these things that's put in for realism. Like, oh yeah, she would have a bedroom. But it could just be like a door blocks off and you can't go in the bedroom because nothing's ever happened here. There's no check dialogue, there's no nothing. I always get slightly bugged by that in games with just a totally unused room with no content. You get a resolution. Oh, they never leave and they never let the family have the house back. What can I get you all today? Oh, so you're still here? Why wouldn't we be? We kind of already saved the world. So that means we don't really need adventuring gear anymore. Are you sure? You never know when this stuff might come in handy. We probably won't be going on any world-saving adventures for at least a month or two. Sorry, girls. So I guess this business isn't really sustainable. Darn, I really thought we had a good plan this time. Maybe you can try something else. Like what? Oh, I know. What if we sold explosives? That's a great idea, Sweetie Belle. High explosives are all the rage these days. Maybe we should try something safer and more age appropriate. Something like colouring or jump rope. Or spelunking. That's not quite what I had in mind. But I'm sure they'll figure out something eventually. Come on, Fluttershy, we've got places to be. Oh yay! More rumors for these guys too. It's a shame there weren't more scenes like this throughout the game where you could kind of see them interacting. It's good to see you two together again. It's good to be together, Fluttershy. Thanks again for saving Applejack. Don't swear Rarity would have done it for anyone. Really? Probably not. Now Applejack in the future, don't run off on some sort of adventure without me, okay dear? Feel much better about you risking your life, and I'm there to personally ensure you stay out of harm's way. Of course, Rare. To be honest, I wish you'd been with us for the whole thing. I missed you an awful lot. I wish she had too. As always, next time. And does that mean next time she's going to be recruitable? Oh, we'll leave you two alone now. As far as I know, in the final version, you also still only have 4 party members. But maybe they swapped out which ones it is. Oh, we can't see a conclusion to the people who got kicked out of their house because they were in the hotel, which is now closed. Okay, I guess all we can do is go back and see the final scene now. See, I gotta say, my overall verdict is, this wasn't as good as I expected it to be, but it's still really great. I think I probably quit playing the game at the perfect moment when I was younger. I quit going, I'm not enjoying this anymore, and that's a good point to stop. I would say the ending is definitely a lot better in the middle. I think the middle was the part that was the most like, oh, this is rushed, there's not much happening here. The ending, like, there were good parts, there were bad parts. The challenge wasn't there, but there was cool, amazing visuals and funky stuff and a crazy magical girl transformation. And like, all my flaws, like, I would hypothetically like these ideas if they just were more fleshed out more. So I think overall, I do still really like this game. Nothing here has ruined my opinion of the game. It's just like, oh, it doesn't stay good the whole way through then. That's a bit of a shame. Hey Angel, did you have a nice weekend? Angel? Have you been standing here with this note for 2 whole days? Angel, stop ignoring me. Guess he's just in a stubborn mood. I guess he's a cardboard cutout. Now, why didn't the scene end like that? That would have been the really funny punchline. Oh, Rainbow, we're ready to end this adventure. I'll make a secondary save here. Just in case I ever want to revisit here, I've got like 1 here before the final boss and 1 here after the final boss. Let's go. You're absolutely sure, dear? Yeah. Oh, we all zoom in for the cutscene. Today was a good day. Yeah. Really weird, but overall good. That's my opinion too. Probably could be debating whether or not any of that stuff with Javis happened for years though. He was really something, in a bad way. No, in a good way. I mean, he's bad, but he was like really entertaining and fun and kind of carried the game. Yeah, what a dork. Glad we didn't let a creep like him take over the world. But I do have to admit, seeing you do that magic thing and kick Verina's butt was pretty impressive. You should be proud of yourself, that was hardcore. Thanks, Dashy. Actually, I'm pretty proud of myself for once. So what do you want to do tomorrow? I still owe you a date. Dunno, you got anything in mind? I also appreciate that they sprited them actually being in the bed and the covers being over them and being like physics of the covers being over them. That's still an uncommon thing in games nowadays. Like, even in fully 3D ones, like, it's infamously hard to actually make characters go into bed realistically. Oh, that game Deadly Premonition, one of the earlier ones on Xbox or something, where they did have like realistic bedsheet physics. I don't know, you got anything in mind? Oh, we could take a trip to Horsington and see the sights. We haven't been there since Twilight's brother's wedding. We could go for a fly around town, you could do some flips. You may get a chance to fly this weekend. Yeah. I guess it makes sense, it would be really hard to do flying gameplay in RPG Maker. Unless it was like you switch like a side-scrolling mode and like do a shoot-em-up or something. I think there's a plug-in for that. I do like flips a lot. But you know what, to save in the universe, I think maybe we've earned a day off. How about we just sleep in and hang out around here tomorrow? We don't need to do anything fancy to have fun. I like that, that's nice and wholesome. You know what, you're right. I'm sure whatever we do tomorrow, it'll be nice. And what we do tomorrow is we transfigurize into totally different species, about 10 years into the future, in a new sprite style, and have a totally different retake of the same adventure. You know why? I think I know why. It'll be happy because anything I do with you is wonderful. Because you are my girl. Because I love you, Rainbow. Yay! I love you too. Yay, they do animated smooch! Yay! That's a really good bookend to the game. You started off with the funny comedic MS Paint smooch. You end up with actual animated smooch. Now let's get some sleep. Okay, good night, Dashy. Good night, babe. Aww. Oh, I love this music! Yay! See, now this is a moment that's making me actually emotional. What a nice end! What a nice timing for the logo! Oh, is the whole credits gonna be synced up? Hell yeah! And there are some more. Yeah, some of the names in the credits here are going to be different in the final version of the game because several of the developers have come out. Oh, there's a song. Oh, shush.
But I'm still thinking of you. You like the lighter to my cigarette. Can't set the flame with.
Oh, that's the name of the bee person.
And if you want me to come over, baby, then that's what I'm gonna do. Just give me all your loving. Don't slow down. Don't you dare hold back.
Yeah, Kevin P. That's the most of an egg creator. Oh, original character wasn't actually made by Bobby, but Bobby did the art for original character. It is her original character. And yeah, core boss is by Bad Cupcake was by Jackie. Forest Wyvern, I was like Steve Hole. Pine Corona was by Scarlet Lamb, that's one of the names that changed. Funky Art was like, oh, 2 people. I can't get through all of these in time. You guys can see. Tom Wool did the Intelligence by the Dire Shock. Cutie Bird was made by Bailey Barnum and Bobby Schroeder. Dan DeVito was photographed by Judy Eddy. Okay. Godfather of Javis is, so 2 credits for Scarlet Land for creating Javis. Tree Diversifier, Barnstock Image Artist. Yeah, that's the credit. And those are all very common scripting ones we've seen before. I appreciate all of us. Yamfly is like the backbone of the whole RPG Maker community. Oh, and here's all the credits for all the individual songs. Who was the one who made Javis' really good song? I am jamming out in the background. I wish I'd thought to put a webcam on. Yeah, okay, Fatal Waves, thank you for making the best song in the whole soundtrack. I'm going to be checking the credits of the final version. Oh yeah, and you can buy the official soundtrack for both this and the final version on Bandcamp. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, the one song is from Fulu Cooley, and some of the other ones are from other games too. Okay, I didn't get any of these. Oh, Bobby's mum is named Kathy. Yay! And here are all the other playtesters. Oh, here's even more playtesters. So playtesters and beta testers of different testers. Banging your head on the start is a really cool username. Animonded Catering, yay! Production babies, okay. I don't know what that means. Does it mean literally those are children or they're like dogs? I know sometimes people say babies to mean dogs. And there's often a credit for like all the pets of the people who made the game for some reason. Oh, it's made by VXA, is confirmed. No animals were harmed during the making of this video game. But one Javis was harmed. That was sweet, that was so nice. I gotta say, even though the actual final fight wasn't that good, I did get emotional from the actual ending there of them just having a nice end to their date night. And the music, of course, is amazing. I'm leaving on this on an overall, this game is definitely above the average of ones that exist. There were some incredibly, stunningly great parts and some that's surprisingly mid parts. It did kind of flag in the middle and then zoom back up again, but it's just making me even more optimistic to see the final super finished version and see exactly what's changed. I don't regret this being the first full entire Let's Play for Random RPG Maker. It was great, I hope you guys had fun too. And I hope Javis is still awesome in the final version. I hope Javis is cool. I hope they finally do the most of an egg scene in real canon for real. That's my one and only wish for the final game. If the rest of it is exactly the same, but they had that one change, I would say yes, that's enough to make it a commercial game. You should make all the profit. But I know there's actually 1,000 more changes. I'm so excited to share them with you. So let's leave it off here and let's start off another one. Amazing news, you guys. First, it's actually really nice and nostalgic and fun. The final game, Super Lesbian Animal RPG, has a readme text file with ASCII art and a nice tutorial and all these nostalgic things and a full set of credits for everyone in the game. And it turns out that the designer for Most of an Egg got later employed by the team to make the prologue comic, and also their name, when not in username form, is Kyle Smealy, and it was like P something before. Hooray! And it seems indeed there is not the name of the composer for Javis' song here. They seem to have indeed changed composers in the game, so that explains everything. Oh, I'm in here! Oh, okay! I didn't even know all the Patreon people got to be in the official readme. Hello! There I am, I'm right next to Buttercream Bear. That's it.